Hi, this is Jackie.
This is Diana.
And you're listening to Homebodies Only. We welcome all bodies here to listen as we dissect and break down HBO series. And today we are doing episode 3 of the Sex Lives of College Girls.
Oh, yeah.
And the title of this episode is called Le Tuteur. I minored in French, so I'm trying to get that R in there.
Great pronunciation.
Thank you. Le Tuteur. All right. I wanted to start with, we start with Leighton with President Lacey in his office because she was caught. But I have to say something here, and I don't think I told you this. Remember, we keep saying she looks like the girl from Mean Girls. Mm-hmm. She played her on Broadway.
Fun fact.
So she's a good singer. And I may or may not, earlier this evening, caught her doing a live, and she was raising money for, Broadway, for racial justice. And I might have donated $10 to get a shout out. And I did, and I wanted her to say Homebodies Only, which I wrote in this comment on this website. Yeah. And instead, she sang my name. But I've never had my name sung by a Broadway star, so it was pretty cool.
Excuse me.
I know. So I really wanted the shout out of Homebodies Only.
Yeah, come on.
And she was like, Jacqueline, hey. I was like, what? Yeah, it was very cool.
That was fantastic.
Thank you. I couldn't record it because it was alive, so I just got to go by my word. I know.
There was some sort of, yeah. That's great.
Probably everybody knows who watches it, but whatever. Okay, so she's with President Lacey, but there's an aerial view of the campus, and I don't know if we've mentioned this or not, because we had some trouble recording the first episode, and we might have mentioned it in our first recording of the first episode, but I don't know if we have. Other than that parts of it were filmed in Poughkeepsie. I can't remember if we've said this or not.
And we live not too far from there, so we're very familiar with Vassar College, which I believe, Yeah.
So I think the aerial views might be there because it looked like autumn. It had the leaves changing, and I know they also filmed in L.A., and I don't think that's L.A.
No.
So
no, they definitely don't have that.
No. So she got caught because she threw the bottle at the tree the statue. Sorry, and the fake cops went after her. So
that was great. I'm sorry. That was great.
It was hysterical. She tries to pay him off with $2,000 and
my mom says we can go up to 10.
Yeah. I'd love to see her
like
mom.
A starting point.
I know. It's like,
yeah.
And he's quoting from her. He says what she did, and then he quotes her saying, they're wannabe cops with heinous personal style. And I just thought that was great. And she was like, yeah, I probably did say that.
I mean, the campus police. Shout out fantastic. To what they do, but
it's just, they're all this, it sounds like they're similar on all campuses. He assigns her 100 hours of community service at the Essex College Women's Center. And she's like, is that a curse? By the way, she's wearing a tweed jacket again. And a button down, of course. She says, my family will no longer be donating to this institution. And he mentions that they have three billionaires. 3 students are children of 3 billionaires from Russia.
Like Russian billionaires or something?
Yeah.
So we don't need your money, basically.
Yeah.
Yeah. So go do your community service. Yeah. And stop.
Stop with your $2,000 and $10,000, whatever. By the way, there's a different theme song. So they don't have a theme song because they played some other song on this one.
But I'm still digging the music.
Oh, I love the music.
I'm loving it.
It's fantastic. I should know the names in the song. I have no clue, but I do love it. Bela is swiping her dating app, and she's swiping. She's like, Vermont's so weird. Why is everyone hiking? And Whitney's like, let me see what's going on. And she looks at it, and she says, you just start with asking for a shirtless pic? Like, what are you doing? Right? She's like, I just want Zac Efron from Baywatch abs. I didn't watch Baywatch with Zac Efron, but
no.
Apparently they were good. And she's like, no, Ryan Gosling and Crazy and Stupid Love. And then they talk about Michael B. I think that's Michael B. Jordan in Black Panther and Creed. And then Kimberly says, it sounded like Beto O'Rourke. But when I Googled it, I believe she was talking about a man named Beto. I hope I'm saying it right, O'Rourke, who is running for the governor of Texas. I really, do you know anything about this?
Knowing her character, that's something she would say.
He's an older man, like middle-aged, more than middle-aged. He's thin, so, and they're like, oh, I'm like, I have no clue. They probably have no idea who that is. Yeah, yeah. Then Leighton comes in. She's like, this is the worst morning of my life. I have to volunteer. And Kimberly's like, I love volunteering.
I know.
Yeah.
Oh, bless her heart, right?
Yeah. There is a bad smell coming from the refrigerator. They're all blaming Bela. She says it's racist somehow that they're blaming her. Bela tries to blame Leighton because she was refrigerating her cosmetics. Her cosmetics.
And she had like Cheeto fingers.
She said she stopped because she found Cheeto dust in her eye cream. And Bela says that was her. And then I don't remember which one says that they'll figure it out, like who was responsible, and they'll clean it later or something. And then Kimberly's like, oh my gosh, the smell's getting in my hair.
I mean, ultimately, they decide to clean it together. Right?
That's what I think they say, right?
Yeah.
So then the next scene, Kimberly and Bela are walking on campus, and that keyboard sound is playing. I just have that note.
Love it.
I know.
It's like Saved by the Bell or something.
It's great. It's great. So Kimberly has a tutor appointment with Nico.
Oh, man.
And then Bella's like, oh, is that what you're wearing or something? She's like, yeah. She's like, are you serious? A jean jacket? And I'm like, what's wrong with the jean jacket?
I'm like, wait a second.
But she was wearing jeans with the jean jacket? I don't know.
What do you call that? Like
the something tuxedo. I forgot.
Yes.
It's not red.
Yes.
Is it red?
Because every time I wear denim on denim, my sister says that.
It might be redneck.
Maybe it's a redneck.
And we can make fun of rednecks because I grew up with rednecks. I mean, I'm not saying I was
jackets all the time.
Yeah.
I'm a big fan.
Yeah.
But yes.
So she says, you look like you're getting an interview or having an interview at Applebee's. I don't know. Then she's like, come on, girl, you have big boobs. Push them out. She's like, of course, Bella's like, oh, that's a great idea. And like, she's doing that too. So then Whitney's at practice. She's I think they're in the locker room or something. And Coach Woods, I just want to mention, her name is Jillian Arminante.
Yeah.
I follow her now on Instagram, and she actually liked a post or something I did about the sex lives of college girls. I'm trying. Let's get a follow. And she posted tonight a clip of her from the next episode, I think after this, and I made a comment, and she liked it. So like, I'm getting in with her with Jillian.
Oh man,
got to just get her to listen to the podcast. Okay,
yeah, she can be a guest.
Yeah, I should just ask her. Don't you want to be interviewed?
Hello.
She says they have a shot at going to finals, thanks to first year talent. And they'll look over at Whitney, and Dalton, of course, looks at her. And then they're making out in the storage closet. And his wife is calling. And then she's FaceTiming. And he's like, oh, and he like somehow answers.
Mm-hmm.
And he has no shirt on. So then he lays the shirt on him. And she's like, dude, did you have your shirt off? And he's like, I mean, he can come up with the lies like that.
Oh.
And she's talking about credenza shopping. And,
oh, my God.
She's like...
Married people things, right?
Yeah. And he's like, I just have to find... I think Whitney gets upset. She's like, I don't even know what that is. And...
yeah, but by the way, like, we're back to that. Like, I thought we wrote him off, but now we're just back to that.
I know. She was mad at him. I know.
Mm-hmm. I thought, yeah. Oh, well, what are you going to do?
Yeah. So he says, I just have to find the right time. And then she makes a joke. I can't remember what she says. And he's like, I love you. And he's like, oh. And so, of course, she's like, because I think she gets mad. And then she's like, oh, just go buy your Hutch thing or whatever it is. So, duh. Anyway. Okay.
Yeah.
Now we're with Kimberly and Nico, and he's tutoring her, and he's saying, memorizing is easy. It's all about the pronunciation and how to say. So he's trying to correct her to how to say true in French, which is vrai, right? V-R-A-I. And he was going back and forth with her. And of course, he's like, look at my mouth, you know, and she's like,
of course.
And he's like, But I have to say, I'm a speech pathologist. I was listening super close to both of them.
Yeah.
He's like, oh, there you go. I swear I heard no difference every time she said it. And she wasn't saying it that bad. I don't know what was going on.
No.
Yeah, I'm like, come on, guys. So she's like, how did you become so fluent? And I believe that Diana will love this part. Because of his au pair named Camille from Marseille. And he said she was so great and his mom really wasn't around. So she really raised him. And Kimberly's like, yeah, I was with my Nana all the time and she had a stroke when we were doing a puzzle. She blurted that out. And she's like, let's go back to your story. So the best part is he would watch Golden Girls dubbed in French with her.
Yes.
And that's how he really became fluent. Now,
so hello.
Side note, like Diana here is a huge, huge Golden Girls fan. Like, I mean, if I hear Golden Girls, I think of Diana.
Yeah. Yes.
And people at work were very close, and people sometimes do mess us up for some reason. They think we're like kids, confuse us sometimes. But also, I'm lumped in with you as a not that I hate Golden Girls. No. I love Golden Girls, but I am lumped in with you as a Golden Girls fan. Like someone was going to buy me something and like felt bad they didn't buy it for me, and I'm like, what? And then we were on a text finding out about like this. Was it a Broadway or a play or something? Golden, I mean, I would go with you. I'll go with you, but I'm always like, I'm like, I love Golden Girls, but I'm not.
I think people just assume that we like all the same things. Like I'm obsessed with the Golden Girls.
Obsessed.
I'm
obsessed
watch
with other stuff.
My son will come in the room and he's like, so is this show like new? I'm like, no.
It's timeless. It's actually timeless.
But why would you watch a show from that long ago? And you know, he doesn't.
No,
he's
of course,
9, right?
Of course.
But he's like, but was it live at one point? And you know, I got to get into like the Golden Girls and then Empty Nest, the spinoff.
Oh yeah.
Oh my gosh,
it's great.
Many of Golden Girls' clothing items, games. I've got the Trivial Pursuit. I got the cake. I got all the things. People buy me.
Yeah, I buy you stuff. It's like I bought you a keychain, which was already bought for her, by the way. I was like, really? But I think yours, the other one, something was happening to it, so this was a replacement. We do have matching. We have matching shirts. But that was because I bought her the shirt because I saw it at the store and I was like, oh my God, this is perfect. She's like, I have it already. So I'm like, all right, I'll keep it. So we wear it
every year
at the last day of school.
Fresh. Yeah.
Last day of school.
And you know what? I think I love that they brought in the Golden Girls. And I think it's relevant to the time because if you notice though, like the Golden Girls, like the whole Stay Golden, all of that, like it's circled back and there's like a new following for it.
There is. Yes. True.
You know what I mean? So love that and love that it was in here.
Yeah.
So.
No, it was great. It was great. I was very happy and I texted Diana because I watched the episode first and I was like, oh my God, you're going to die.
I was like a little kid. Like I was so excited.
It's great. So, by the way, he does say he's like menopause. He says with a French accent. Now they're at Sips, by the way. Right? And so Leela texts her, which I thought was fantastic, and is watching this, and she wrote, he's so hot, I burned myself 3 times looking at him. I thought that was a fantastic line. And then, of course, Kimberly looks up at her, she's doing something, vile. Not vile, but like with a straw and a donut. So, And
can we talk about, like, dare I say there was actually liquid in the coffee cups? Because I noticed there was weight in the cups.
Oh, on the table?
When he lifted up his cup to drink, it appeared as though there was a liquid. So I was very excited because I've brought this up before, how it bothers me.
The fakeness.
With the empty cups.
Yeah, that's so
there
dumb.
Was something in there.
Yay. Okay.
Thank you for that.
There we go. We got lots of great stuff going on in this, in this scene.
Yeah.
So he asks her to sign his form so he can get credit for tutoring. She's like, oh, yeah, you're doing this to, like, I forgot that you're not. Yeah. So she was a little hurt.
It's just trampled on.
Yeah. So now we're in the library, and Bela is looking at a book with young Stalin on it and says, yeah, he's so hot. Young Stalin could get it. Should be on Riverdale. I don't watch Riverdale. And she says this to the random girl, which I noticed across from her, and the random girl just, like, looks at her and like looks away. Like, I'm like, okay. I don't know what that happened in real life, but we won't go into that. I feel like someone would be like, something.
Yeah. Okay.
Anyway, so then Bella, all of a sudden, I think they played music, of course, spots this guy walking by, and she's just staring at him. And of course, he reaches up to get a book, and you see those abs.
Oh,
shirt
man.
goes up, and she's like, So then she goes right up to him, and she introduces herself, and she says, Bella, like in Twilight, but I'm Indian. And he's like, cool. Like, not into him.
Like,
but,
completely, like, high or, like...
Yeah,
just,
I don't know.
Yeah.
All right, so now we're at the women's center, and there's...
The women's center.
Yeah, it's fantastic. And there's a group sitting around, and the first woman talks, and she mentions that Susan B. Anthony is being honored, but the artists enhanced her breasts, and so she's not happy about that. And then one woman says, maybe it represents female power. Or then another person says, or she had a huge rack. We'll never know, or something like that. And then Leighton walks in. Alicia is the woman like in charge, who runs the place. And she introduces her, and everybody's saying their pronouns.
Yes.
And Leighton says she, obviously, which was not good.
No. That's not going to be well received within the group.
No.
I'm just going to say.
No. And then she's going into like, okay, I can do mornings, like was trying to give her the schedule. And she's like, let's say like we round up from a half hour. I'll just do a half hour, we'll round up. And she's like, no, I tell you when I need you. And there's going to be like a poetry slam or something from 5 to 10. I think on like
that sounds
Friday.
fabulous.
I don't know if it's that
on a
night. Friday night. And she's like, I have plans.
That's not going to work. I have plans.
Yeah, I have plans. So. And she's like, no, whatever. And then, so they start getting, I don't remember, they must have started to kind of get a little bit heated or something. And the one girl rings a bell.
Safe space bell.
Safe space bell.
Sorry. The safe space bell got me. I was like, what?
Yeah. And she says she'll tell her when she needs her, like when the center needs her. And saying that her pronouns are obvious when others aren't makes her sound like a dumb cis B. And then after that, she pops back into President Lacey's office. She's like, Mom says we can go up to 20K. And he's like, no. He's like, you need to grow from your pain or something like that. Grow from pain. That was pretty funny. All right, so next we got the Faff. And his name is Fruta, I believe. I replayed it a couple times to try to figure out how Whitney was saying it, but I believe it's Fruta. Fruta the Faff comes in and talks about that.
Can we talk about his sweater? Like, I'm sorry.
He does.
It was like
now
the
you know
sweaters from. Yeah.
No, what? Like a ski movie from the 80s or something? I don't know.
Yeah, like Aspen.
Yeah.
I don't know. Dumb and Dumber. Like in the lodge. I don't know.
He sounds like the guy from Frozen who's selling out the winter blowout. And he's like, winter blowout.
I was going more right? from like the Perfect Strangers Avenue, like Cousin Belky. But hey, listen, Frozen.
No, both of them. Like he's a combo. He's not as big as the guy from Frozen, but he has that. Welcome to I don't remember the name of the place. He's like some big summer blowout because there's snow. Yeah,
he's cracking me up. Loved it.
So he complains about the stench, and she's like, "Don't." He's like one sweet every year. And they're like, "We're the smelly sweet." Oh my gosh! So Leighton's like.
There's always a smelly
sweet. And they're the smelly
It happened
sweet.
in my dorm, too.
I don't remember that.
Like, what do you put? And it happens in, like, apartment complexes, too. I'm sorry, but, like, I have a friend who lived, my best friend from home. I'll never forget, like, no matter what apartment she lived down in the city, in her hallway, at certain points, I'm like, what is that? Like, can we get some of whatever's cooking behind that door? Because it would just like seep under the door.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Same in college, though. Like, but it was a different stench, if you know what I mean, because nobody cleaned.
No.
Yeah.
Something with the way they build the buildings, maybe. Some smells just.
It just. Seep. Like, do we not have exhaust fans on the stove? No windows? Like, what's going on? And also, some of the smells are pleasant. And can I just knock on your door and be like, listen.
Yeah, I'm hungry.
Here's my Tupperware. What do you got?
Yeah. So Leighton wants to know who complained. He says, all complaints are anonymous. And then Travis walks in and he's like, I did it. And he's like, it smells like a tooth abscess in here, which I thought was fantastic because then I pictured it. I was like, oh my God.
Yeah.
Whitney's like, we have to throw it out. And Kimberly says, that was my high school graduation gift. And Leighton says, that is the saddest sentence I've ever heard.
Yeah.
Kimberly.
But how many of us
I know got
a refrigerator?
I don't know.
That was one of my gifts.
And if she didn't get the refrigerator, well, someone would have went out and bought it, I guess, because they have so much money. But, they wouldn't have one. So then Whitney and Leighton again say it's Bela, and she's like, offensive. I don't know. It was great the way she said it. I can't do her justice. And then they say that's when they'll say, I guess, the whole group will clean it. But she says, I can't. Bela says she has a date. She's like, I'm going to get piped. Railed, slammed. I mean, disgusting.
Oh, so gross.
Yeah, and Leighton's like,
I can't.
Oh. Yeah. So then Whitney and the coach, Dalton, are racing each other in a field, or not a field, but it was like it was like mowed grass, but there were trees around, and I was like, all I kept thinking was like, who sees them? Who sees them? I don't know where they were.
Yeah.
And I guess she asks about the credenza, and he says, oh my gosh, it was horrible. I want to show you a picture. And she sees the text, and she's being called Stephen Kim Accountant in his phone.
Yeah.
But there's Honey Bunny underneath it, and that's his wife. She's like, I'm Stephen Kim, and she's Honey Bunny. And she gets pissed off. And she's like, are you effing kidding me? We can't keep sneaking around like this. Doesn't any of this bother you? And he's like, of course. He's like, of course. I can't tell anyone about like how cool you are and whatever he says. And she said she wants an actual date, not hanging out behind a Best Buy.
Hey.
And then he tries to make a joke. He's like, some of my fondest memories or something like that was behind the Best Buy. And she's
meanwhile
upset.
Our Best Buy is like a pod for getting your vaccination.
Yeah, there's no more Best Buy around. There might have been back when this was filmed.
Back in the day. Yeah.
So he tries to make a joke, and she's upset. So she just runs back to campus by herself and leaves him.
Yes.
Yeah. All right, Bella's on a date in the cafeteria, which is really bothering me about these hanging out. Why?
You're in the dining hall.
Dining hall. That's what it's
not
called.
A date.
No, and
like you're
I'm
going
trying to
through
think.
like the line to get them. Like that's
and
not
also
a date.
Like in college, I don't know. There weren't really dates. Like well, you did, but that's for the most part. If your goal is to hook up, you're not meeting and eating. Sorry,
no, you are meeting at your dorm
coming over,
or like at a party.
Oh,
or
do you want to come and watch a movie?
Yeah,
something like that. Anyway, what were you going to say?
You don't go to the dining hall.
No, and it's bright, and you're in front of everybody. Like I
can't.
So awkward.
That's not a date.
No.
That's like I don't know. Maybe times have changed. I guess we should poll the audience. But
yeah,
I would go to the dining hall and like with like my roommates or
your
friends
roommates
from like the class, or if there was a guy like you were just hanging out and going to. It wasn't a date, and you weren't like going to follow up on anything. No, you were going through to get your grilled chicken and your I don't know. French fries, whatever.
We had a waffle maker, and people would eat the waffles. Like basically, it was like ice cream sundae waffle sometimes for dinner.
Like the dining hall was a crazy place because you could literally have like anything your heart desired. Yeah. And like we had like all these other pop up places or whatever. But like, I actually quickly signed up and got certified to be a fitness instructor, so I wouldn't gain weight. So I would teach in the basements of like the dorms. They had gyms, and I would teach kickboxing. So I got certified in kickboxing.
How did I not know this?
I was a kickboxing instructor.
Oh my God!
In college,
I took kickboxing. No, I took real. I'm sorry, I took real boxing at a real boxing gym in the city. I mean, I was like one of the only females, but I did not know you were.
Yeah,
wow.
I was a kickboxing. It was cardio kickboxing, and they offered like whatever. I got hired like a work study
you get trained?
Thing or whatever. Yeah, I did like a training certification thing randomly, and then it helped me out a lot because could still eat, and I worked out. I had the mic going. I had the microphone. told you this.
I can't believe you never told me this either.
Yeah.
Diana also knows how to figure skate, so let's.
And I was also on the figure skating team.
Yeah. I can't even.
I had a busy college
try
life.
to like compete with that. There's nothing I can say other than I did go to a boxing gym, and they wanted me to go in the round and everything, but I wouldn't do it. That's
pretty impressive.
Thank you.
Do you have your own bowling shoes? Because I also.
No.
Yeah, I also, when we go bowling, I have my own bowling shoes.
Well, I could see that because you're a germaphobe, but are you really good?
I have a jacket that I won when I was on a bowling team.
No,
I am bringing
you're lying.
it. No, it's.
I gotta go.
Yeah.
I'm going. I'm hanging up.
I have a jacket that my team won back in, I don't know, 1987.
How old were you?
Like 5.
Oh, you were little. Oh, there's something coming back.
Wait.
The jacket's not going to fit you.
No, the jacket still fits. So maybe I was older. Maybe it was like 92.
You were not 5. You were not 5.
It was 92. So it was like 10.
Oh my God.
We were the 2 p.m. preps.
I was like 16, 17.
Listen, I have trophies and I have a jacket.
I'm just
next.
I'm in awe now. I don't know.
Next 80s night.
I'm psyched you're doing a podcast with me right now. I'm like shocked. Okay. Let's get back to the show. Move on. Maybe you need to start your own podcast. Okay. The guy is laughing at everything she says, and then he walks away. Like he's like, "Ha!" Like everything. Get me a cup of dry Captain Crunch. He's like, "Ah!" Like thinks it's great. I don't know. So then
he doesn't have any brain cells. That's
no.
For sure.
And so she says to Jocelyn, like, I'm slaying this date. And she's like, I can't believe I'm going to hook up with a guy with abs. And Jocelyn's like, oh, she's like, I know, you're not even like that funny. And Jocelyn can't believe she's never been, Bela's never been with someone with abs. And this guy, like, right at the moment walks by that apparently had nice abs. I don't know.
Of course.
She's like, I pull. I had no clue what that meant. So I had to Google that one. The Google, I put a Google on it, says attracting someone in a sexual or romantic way. So there you go.
Okay. Thanks for that.
You're welcome. Because it was going to bother me that I didn't know what it meant. All right. Now we're at the Women's Center. It's poetry night. There's a lot. There's no way I could give
There's
you
a lot
all.
going on.
First,
it's like open mic.
It's open mic. And first the person is doing a thing about Father's Day that's basically like, I didn't get any respect from you. And like rips up the card. Yeah. Then I can't do it. Say, I wish you could see me. No, first the woman's like, my nipples are something.
Oh my God.
But are they really free? And there was like I'm doing movements with my hand. I know you can't see me, but she went from like pointing and then put it in like the OK sign with the 3 fingers up and then crossed them and covered herself. It was fantastic. And then there was a very angry person saying, disgracious guys, forever waves of pain. And Leighton is filming this.
Feeling behind that.
Yes.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And she's like doing it and she's laughing. And Alicia comes over and she's like, you cannot stop filming without consent. And then she's drinking. And Alicia says, you're drinking at an event that you're volunteering for because you were caught drinking. And she's like, yep. So she takes that away from her. And then folk singer starts singing about a woman who deserves more, and that's Mother Nature. So Leighton just starts laughing and she walks outside. She's laughing hard, so she walks outside. I didn't think that was the worst thing. She can't help it. So Alicia is really pissed off, and she's not giving her credit for the 3 hours she's been there. She's giving her 0.
Were you catching a vibe where I was kind of like, okay, either she's going to kiss her or she's going to be the person who helps her?
Yeah, I was definitely feeling like the chemistry and the they definitely have like a chemistry going.
Like I wrote that in my notes. I was like, I feel something happening here.
Me too.
But nothing happened at that point.
Nothing did happen. But the funniest thing, she's like, you drank wine, you ate very noisy snacks. I don't know. I thought that
sounds like something I would do.
Yeah.
Not at a women's event. I'm all about that.
Yeah.
But I would drink wine and eat noisy snacks a lot.
Yeah.
It's actually literally what I was doing before this podcast. I was reading a book. And
you read too? I mean, my God, like
I mean, I'm so well rounded. Who knew? I was reading and I was having like those pretzel chips. And they were very noisy. And my son was like, "Hey, Mom."
Can you close your mouth? Are you opening your mouth when you chew?
I couldn't help it. They were so good. They were like everything bagel season.
Oh.
My breath is probably kicking right now. Anyway.
All right.
But that would be me.
Yep.
Noisy snacks and the wine in the back.
That's totally you. That's totally you. All right. So Bela is with the guy. I don't know what his name is. I don't know if we ever know what his name is. And she's like,
I don't think there was a name involved. Abs.
Abs. Let's call him Abs guy.
We'll call him
and
Abs
she's
guy.
like, and she's like, can I just have a moment? And she's staring at them, and he's like, do you want to, and she's like, yes. And then she kisses his abs. While they're
wow,
engaging in these activities,
the wildness.
She keeps so not.
It was
it's
wild.
so
it
not
was
attractive.
little,
I'm sorry, but it was.
No, it was.
I don't think it was supposed to be. She keeps saying, "You're so effing hot," and then he keeps saying, "You're so effing funny," which is odd. And then she's trying to then she keeps saying it to see what he says, and he keeps saying it, but so that he keeps saying it over and over. So we see her plop in a seat in their suite, and she says, "He's a chuckle effer." Yeah. And they're like, Kimberly's like, "That's not a word or a thing." And
I have to agree. I didn't know that was a thing.
No, me neither. I don't know. I didn't Google it. So I feel like if I Googled the real...
Probably best if you didn't.
I think some weird stuff might come up, so I'm not going to do that. Because I think of Chuckles the clown. I don't know what... Okay. Yeah. So Whitney says he has to be attracted to you. No one sleeps with someone because they're funny. And she's like, well, how does that explain that I, let's say, pleasure myself to Kyle Mooney? I think, I looked him up. So he's on, I don't know if he is now, but he was on Saturday Night Live.
Yeah.
He's not overly attractive. So that's, yeah. So I don't know if that hurt his feelings, by the way, if he watched the show. She's like, stop telling me who you know what to. That's what Whitney says. Stop telling me that. Right? Yeah. She's like, I want him to think I'm hot, and she's like, what does she say? What?
When you go for the guys and you're like, just show me your abs. I want to what do you expect?
I know.
I get it. It's like the show or whatever. But I was like, how deep do you want this to be? Because he's not going to see you for. Yeah.
And then she says something. I think she compares him to like David Beckham or something. And then she's like Larry David. And Kimberly is
the writer of Seinfeld or whatever.
Yeah. And who's
the creator of Seinfeld.
Oh my God. In his show. Oh my God.
Arrested Development?
No. It's on HBO right now.
Sorry. Wrong show.
Oh my God.
Come on.
Are you kidding?
It's Curb Your Enthusiasm.
Thank you. Oh my God.
Arrested Development. That came out of
nowhere. Because now they have new episodes. Well, they had new episodes. And he's also on HBO, right? So then I think Kimberly says you're not as funny, or somebody says you're not as funny as Larry David.
Yeah.
Which is very funny.
There you go.
So then Whitney's like, speaking of David Beckham, we won our game today. And Kimberly went, and she was like, yeah, I tried to do the wave, but there wasn't enough people there. Then Bela brings it back to her. I know. I would go with Kimberly. Like, I love her. I would want to hang out with her
She's
so much.
Hysterical.
I know. So Bela brings it back to her. What am I going to do? And Whitney's like, oh, well, that was, short-lived, that we trying to talk about her problems. And Kimberly's like, you both have specific reasons, so why not just go with it, right? And she's like, nope, I'm going to break up with him, and I'm just not going to be myself around the next guy. And they're like, that's not,
that's
she's taking these bad lessons. Like, So then...
And also, that's not what they were trying to say.
No. Yeah, which is always what Bela... takes away the wrong stuff, like sleeping with strangers. There was
selective hearing, right?
Yeah. So Kimberly and Whitney are walking, and Kimberly says she's glad that Bela's not her roommate because it's a lot to take. Kimberly has a cheesecake. We know why, because she's going for Nico because
it's cheesecake.
I forgot to write that he asks her to go watch Golden Girls with her.
He did, and
that was back when they were
in French.
Yes.
They made plans to watch it.
I forgot to mention that.
Friday night or something.
Duh.
It was a big deal.
Yeah. So she has cheesecake for Nico. It's a private joke. And because in Golden Girls, it was every episode at the end.
Pretty much.
They eat the cheesecake. They always had cheesecake.
And did you know that not all of the characters, like B. Arthur, they didn't,
actresses.
like B. Arthur in particular, I believe, hated cheesecake.
Yeah.
And they would eat it on the show.
They would actually eat it?
Yeah, they would actually eat cheesecake, but I believe it was Dorothy B. Arthur. I believe
Really
she
did not like
actually
cheesecake.
hated
Wow.
cheesecake.
Oh boy. Now she
But
really,
it was
then she
like
probably really hated it.
it was like their staple.
thing,
Like
yeah.
it became their thing.
Yeah. So,
I love a good cheesecake.
oh yeah. So then I think Whitney asks if Leighton knows, and she says no, but there's nothing to tell. And she's like, but don't tell her.
Yeah.
So then Kimberly goes, goes away. She walks away, and then Whitney is going to. I don't know if she tells it them, but the coach texts her an apology. Then he calls her.
Yeah.
And he's like, "Where are you go? Where are you?" She's like, "I'm going to the team party. I think to celebrate because they won or something. Yeah, because they won. Kimberly was there." He says he really wants to take her on a proper date now, and he's like, "Bring bug spray." She's like, "What?" And bundle up. So
That's
clearly they're going to be outside. Yeah, I'm like, this is not a proper date.
In the woods again.
I know. I was thinking about ticks and stuff, but they were, yeah. Anyway, so then Kimberly walks up to the Theta house, and there's like R&B music playing, by the way,
I know.
when she walks up.
They already knew, like.
I know. And she unzips her anorak. What is she wearing?
Golden Girl sweatshirt.
Yeah. It says stay golden.
And I was like, wait a second.
like she had that.
I don't think I have that one, but.
No, but that means, did she have that? She probably didn't go out and buy it because, or maybe she did, but she doesn't have a lot of money. So
Maybe,
I think she had
or
it.
did she, or,
Because it was like the same day, wasn't it? Or
yeah. Well, yeah, she
the
probably
next day?
bought that and the cheesecake, obviously, which
yeah.
is very
Oh,
expensive,
true.
by the way.
I know. Yeah.
It
She
looked like
mentions
one
that.
of those juniors cheesecakes
Yeah.
that are like way overpriced.
Yeah.
Ugh.
So then
my
the
heart
guy
sank immediately.
I know the guy answers the door. He's like, "Yeah," and you're like, duh. And he's
Yo,
like, he's
dude.
at Braden's. And she's like, I don't know. He's like, you don't know Braden? And she's like, no. And he's like, oh, you kind of look like him.
Oh, poor. Oh my God.
What? So then she calls Nico. I'm very disappointed.
He
in him.
answers.
He answers. And he's like, I totally forgot. Really, dude?
I know.
Isn't it the same day? Like, you're not that, really? You're that cool? Like,
I
come
know.
on. So she throws the cheesecake out. And then she goes back. I was like, she's got to go back and get it.
You got to
Come
go
on.
back.
It's
and
in
get
the
that.
box. Like, it's fine.
Yeah.
First
It's
of all,
covered.
I would have never thrown it out. Like,
No.
no way. Like, come on.
Mm-mm.
So then we see Whitney getting out of Coach Dalton's truck, and she's blindfolded, and she's like, you better not be murdering me, haha, whatever. It's an outdoor movie night in the woods, and it has Love and Basketball, which is her favorite movie. And
It's a great movie. I've seen it. Have you ever seen it?
I think a long
It's
time
actually
ago.
a good movie.
I'm going to have to watch
it's
it.
from a long time ago.
It's
a good flick.
Who's in it?
Anybody
Anybody famous? Okay. Because there were a couple, I hate to say this, there were like a couple basketball games I feel like that came out that had like romance in it. And I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong.
Yeah.
I mix them up.
I feel like Love and Basketball was popular maybe when I was in college, or I don't know what year it came out, but I do remember.
We're so bad with our facts.
Ugh. Got to get better
All
at
right,
that.
sorry, I'm looking it up right now. Sorry, people.
But yeah, it was cute, but then it was kind of like
year 2000.
Oh, that's the year I graduated high school.
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
I
all
was
right.
living.
Like
I was living in the city, working
You're
it.
a city girl.
I was living in the city, working it at Morgan Stanley. I think I did see it, but I really don't remember it, so I might watch that again.
I can't believe that was
sorry, I just dropped that
21
on the
years
floor.
ago, though. Wow, that's crazy. Time goes too fast.
Yeah, I was. Yeah, I was 25. Okay, so that's her fave movie. I don't know. Do they kid? I don't know. That's whatever. Then they
end up making out or whatever they do, and they
they go. Now we see the women's center, and I think they're Alicia and Whitney Leighton are talking, and she's like, "Come on, how can you?" Leighton's just like, it's like ridiculous, and she's like, "You smile to their face and you mock them privately." And she's like,
"That's what I do."
Yeah, exactly. And then she's like, she said, "Wait till October. Somebody has a coven." And she's like, "What's a coven?" No, a coven is a witch's coven. It's like a group of witches. I knew that. All right. So now we go to Kimberly. She's cleaning the fridge. She's watching Golden Girls in French. Feel bad for her. Bella comes in and she has a different outfit on, than earlier. So I was confused if this was the same. Again, I think it's the same night. Yeah, it is the same night.
Yes, it was the same night.
Bella has on this like really cute striped like halter, and then I think like a skirt almost that matches. And it honestly reminded me of the Barbie couch. Well, I don't know if you're too young for the swirly.
Oh, I
don't know why. Totally different colors, but I thought Barbie couch for some reason back in the 80s. Anyway. So I think she's like, I just have to see if she says, yeah, I think that she says what happened or whatever. She got, why is Kimberly there? I don't know if she doesn't say Nico though. I think she just says she got disappointed or something. She wants to know if she broke up with the abs guy, and she says, I did, but then he did pull-ups, so they ended up sleeping together.
Oh my gosh.
Because she was staring at his abs, I guess. And they figured out the cause of the heinous smell, and it was all of it. Because when Travis airbrushed Bella's abs for the naked party, she unplugged the fridge.
Yeah, gotta
plug in his airbrush machine. And so it was her fault. And she was upset because it wasn't for a racist reason. She was like, I can't believe it's my fault, not, for racist reason. So then I think Kimberly was like, do you want, and she says like, it's a $25 cheesecake. So it's $25. She says, do you want to watch TV and eat cheesecake? Bella,
that sounds like amazing.
I know, it sounds
right
awesome.
now.
Like, I wish I could do that tonight after we're done, but no. Okay.
No.
So we see Whitney and Dee and Dalton, and she says it's the single best date she's ever been on, and I think he says, me too, or something. Then he gets a text from his wife, and he texts her back that they have to have a serious talk that night, and he shows it to Whitney.
Yeah.
So then,
but were you like, immediately, were you like, he's going to go home and be like, make up something story?
Yeah,
or
I did. I had a little bit of hope, but I was like, So, he walks into the house. His wife asks him what he wants to talk about. And he says, obviously he's an actor and it's a show, but he really says he meant to send that to Coach Woods. And then he's like, you ready for bed? Then, the show ends with Whitney walking in like that archway where they live, like outside, and she's just smiling into the night. So, that's where it ended. I hope that didn't make too much noise. I just put something on the ground. But anything else you want to add?
No, I was only going to say, like, Did you catch, like, in the beginning how they kept saying, what the actual F?
F, yeah.
And I was like, okay, Schitt's Creek. Like,
oh, did they say that?
Remember on, did you watch Schitt's Creek?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I did.
That was, like, one of, like, my favorite lines that David, that they would say.
Yeah,
and they kept saying it a couple of times in the episode. So I was just looking at my notes that I wrote that. I was like, anyway, that's funny. And then, that's it. Right? That's where it ends.
Anything else? All right. So I guess we'll end that there. And we will, I would love to hear from you guys. Excuse me, I have to clear my throat. So, if you want to email us, it's HomeBodiesOnly@gmail.com. And we'd love to hear from you. Also, if you enjoy the podcast, tell your friends about it, and other friends who are watching the show, because it's a lot of fun to talk about this show. Diana, are you there still? Oh, I can see we're having some internet problems. Oh, there we go. Now I see her.
A little. We had a storm, so I don't know like what's going on here, but hopefully I think I heard you give out like our email address and all of that. So sorry about the technical glitch there, but hoping that it's okay now.
Everything was fine. Yes.
We're having some severe weather over here.
Yes. Yes. All right, everybody. I'm so excited to talk about episode 4.
Stay tuned. Can't wait. Bye.
Bye.